and Jack for Cultaholic. Look at this. I'm in the old studio. I'm back in the office. Very, very briefly. It's quite nice, this. Dusted things off. How are you, Jack?
I'm good. Owen got us some new cushions in the flat, so
Ooh,
I know.
Fancy.
I know, it's just all change, isn't it, right now?
I don't like change.
No.
I don't like your new cushions. I prefer just the original cushions. I think the new cushion that you've got really ruins Cultaholic.
Okay.
Here is your wrestling news. Major heat on John Cena. We'll get to that in a moment. There's some big changes to an AEW Double or Nothing match, and a released WWE star is cleared to return to wrestling. Find out who in a little bit. John Cena in the news today, not for reasons he would have hoped. He has upset quite a few people, and there is some major heat on him today. So John Cena is on the press run for Fast and the Furious 9, F9, as it's going to be called. And he did an interview in Mandarin. And during this interview, he referred to the country of Taiwan. And this is a bit of a sensitive political topic here because it's self-governing, and China monitors speech regarding Taiwan. There's a lot of discussions around this. And following this interview going out, a lot of people in China have said they were going to boycott F9 as a result of this. John Cena has reacted to this news by doing an apology video in Mandarin. It's a tough day at the office for John Cena today, isn't it, Jack?
It really is. Yeah. On one hand, I feel quite bad for him because it's quite clear that I think he's probably been told to apologise by somebody. On the other hand, I don't know, a lot of people are reacting as though maybe they're quite angry with John Cena for apologising for it because, yes, in China, it's just a very controversial topic whether or not Taiwan is regarded as a sovereign nation. But in the wider world, looking at it from our very privileged Western point of view, of course, I think a lot of people are suggesting that maybe he shouldn't have said that. Maybe it's a little bit authoritarian. Maybe it's not something that's in line with what we believe our belief system to be. I'm picking my words very carefully here, so I'm not generalising anything. But the gist of it is that he's upset people on both sides, basically. He upset the sort of the taboo thing that you can't say in China because he said it, and then he's upset people more on our side of the equation with his apology. So it is a tough day at the office for John, isn't it? Yeah.
CM Punk has taken the opportunity to needle John Cena on this, simply changing his bio on Twitter to "Taiwan is a country." And nothing else. We'll keep you up to speed with what's happening with John Cena throughout the day over at Cultaholic.
I should also point out that Andrew Zarian from the Mat Men podcast points out that the John Cena apology is not going over well at WWE right now either, which I find odd. I don't know who he means. Maybe he means fellow superstars, maybe he means the locker room. But if the way that it just is phrased, going over well at WWE right now, makes it sound as though Vince is going, "Oh, that's outrageous, John. How can you say that? When's the next Saudi Arabia show?" No, I'm not suggesting. I'm not suggesting that it was Vince, but that's a bit of a vague statement. But apparently, some people in WWE are not pleased with Cena's apology.
Interesting there from Andrew Zarian. As I say, I'll get you up to speed with it at cultaholic.com throughout the day. New Japan news: El Desperado, the latest to be confirmed with COVID-19. He posted on Twitter some of his symptoms, and he is now out of action. And it's just another blow to New Japan. They've had a really rough week with COVID diagnosis over the last week, haven't they, Jack?
Yes, they absolutely have. Big stars, the likes of Kazuchika Okada, of course, Taichi as well, all sadly testing positive for COVID. We wish everybody a full and speedy recovery, of course. I'm sad about El Desperado. I've met him. He came over for a couple of WCPW shows with Minoru Suzuki. And yeah, he just seemed like a really chilled guy, actually. And I feel quite sad for him. So hopefully he gets on the road to recovery soon as well. But it has been a very turbulent time for New Japan. I think it's probably quite pertinent to mention Will Ospreay recently was speaking about basically there's been a lot of controversy regarding the stripping of his IWGP Heavyweight Championship. New Japan claimed it was due to injury. Then people were suggesting that maybe there's been a bit of a fallout and they weren't happy with Ospreay leaving and going back to the UK to recover from his injury when they said, no, you should stay in the country. And Ospreay, I think, came out with a statement quite recently, maybe yesterday, saying that it's nothing to do with that. He's pledged his future to New Japan. He just wants to take all the precautions to recover, basically. So he kind of quelled a lot of the rumours, perhaps, that there was some unrest. But certainly it's been a difficult time logistically for New Japan, with the whole, wrestlers testing positive for COVID, having to reschedule shows and cancel shows and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's been a bit of a stressful, year and a bit for them by this point.
On the other side of the Forbidden Door, AEW Double or Nothing goes down this weekend. And Fightful have given us a few details on the Stadium Stampede match, haven't they, Jack?
They have. They've said that Stadium Stampede will have a significant live element to it. Fightful also add that it'll be a unique live experience, but they can't really go they haven't been able to go any further than that with the details they've been provided. I'm assuming this means that it'll be maybe a little bit different to what we saw last year with the 2020 Stadium Stampede match between the Elite and Matt Hardy and the Inner Circle. This one might be catered more, I suppose it'll be catered more to having a live audience there. Whether that means they'll allow fans to move into the stadium, I'm not quite certain. I don't really know. What do you make of it?
Well, I feel like I assumed it would be a case of maybe the match would start in the ring and it would move out to the stadium, or maybe it would have to go to the stadium and come back again, because I feel like the element here is a full capacity crowd at Double or Nothing. And the cinematic wrestling matches have been great whilst we've had nobody there, but we know when they have those long matches or those long segments on screens, the live fans, they very rarely get involved, and you have to do something to keep them engaged with it. So I'm not surprised they're adding something a little different to this one to engage the crowd in that particular match. I'm intrigued to see what they do. It goes down this Sunday at AEW Double or Nothing with a full capacity stadium, according to Cody. Lovely stuff. NWA have a pay-per-view coming up next week. When Our Shadows Fall, the main event is set. Want to give this a little nod because I'm a big fan of NWA Power. Nick Aldis taking on Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. There's a fire promo from Trevor Murdoch from NWA Power that I feel you should check out after he wins the Battle Royal. It's an amazing moment after he wins the Battle Royal to become the top contender. It's a cracking bit of mic work from Trevor.
Do you think he's going to do it?
Do you know what? Ooh. I was having a chat with him the other day. He's on Desert Island Graps next week ahead of the match, and I think he's going to do it.
Whoa. It's going to be big.
It's going to be a big night for Trevor. He joins me next week on Desert Island Graps, and we talk not only about his run in WWE, we talk about the time he got arrested at a wedding in Ireland, at a wedding party in Ireland, rather, and so many stories about Harley Race, including the time that Harley Race booked him in a match against Meng. You don't know whether that's a punishment or not. We'll talk about it next week on Desert Island Graps. Alexander Wolf's on today, by the way, former guy from Imperium. So I'm plugging a lot of stuff. I'm getting a lot of stuff.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's very exciting, though.
Axel Tischer, he's on later today. He's on the YouTube channel. He's a lovely lad. Finalement, talking of released WWE stars, like Alexander Wolf, who will join me for Desert Island Graps later on today. Chelsea Green in the news today. What's happening with Chelsea, Jack?
She tweeted saying, "Today is a good day. After 3 surgeries on my arm, I'm officially cleared to get back in the ring. Oh, how I've missed wrestling." So she's basically confirming that she is ready and waiting to get back into the ring. But she doesn't mention potentially where or for which promotion.
I think wherever she lands, she's going to be a force of nature.
Yeah. She's just one of those wrestlers that, I know it's a cliche now to say it, but she gets it. She understands how to get people invested in what she's doing, and she makes the most of whatever she's given. We've seen her do that time and time again in storylines, so I'm excited to see where she ends up.
Very excited to see where she ends up, and we're excited for you to have a great day. Stay safe. Love you, bye.